so we bought a house. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you a very special video. As you can tell by the title, we are officially homeowners. I seriously cannot believe it, but let's bring you guys along this crazy ride. It truly brings me so much joy how I've been on YouTube for about 10-11 years now, and so many of you guys have been with me through many stages in my life, from living with my mom in the Bronx to moving alone for the first time in my studio apartment, to then move to our first apartment together in White Plains, which has been my dream apartment. I am going to miss this apartment so much, but I'll talk a little bit more about it in a separate video, maybe like packing and stuff. Fast forward to now, we are officially homeowners, and I can bring you guys along this crazy ride with me, which I'm so excited. You guys know I love everything home related, and I cannot wait to dive into fixing the house, making it our own. It is somewhat of a fixer-upper. It's not a fixer-upper, but it's one of those that we want to make our own. It's so amazing. I truly love YouTube for that reason alone, of like basically capturing these journeys and moments along the way and being able to relive them and live them with you guys. So thank you so much if you've been watching all these years. You guys truly feel like my virtual friends, and if you're new, welcome, subscribe, and stay a while. I wanted to capture some moments along the way of our house hunting series and basically share with you guys some of the tours of the houses that we went to see, and then share a little bit of our experience as first-time home buyers. As you guys know, the market is ridiculous right now and maybe not the best time to buy a house, but realistically speaking, when is the right time, because the interest rates just keep going higher and higher and higher, and people are waiting for it to get lower, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be anytime soon, even though everyone says it's like, oh, next month, next year, and it just doesn't happen. From the beginning, we knew that we wanted to potentially start house hunting right after the wedding if it all worked out, and then hopefully move before our lease ending in November, because they were going to raise our rent by a lot. Thankfully, everything worked out as planned, but we are in crunch time right now because there were some delays into closing, and now we have to speed up the process of fixing whatever we want to fix before moving into the house. But let's rewind a little bit and start showing you guys the houses that we started to see. So we first started house hunting in July, I would like to say, like at the beginning of July. We saw in total, I think, like around 30 to like 28 houses. At the beginning, we just wanted to get a little bit of experience in house hunting, what's out there, start searching, maybe finding a realtor, and start getting all the paperwork and pre-approvals before truly diving into after the honeymoon. So we started before the honeymoon. We saw a few houses then. I feel like I haven't even mentioned, but we started looking upstate New York and Connecticut, specifically border Connecticut, closer to New York because of Eric's job. And when we started looking in New York, we realized how insanely wild taxes are in New York compared to Connecticut, which is why we opened our mind to Connecticut. All right, let's cut into some clips I filmed at the beginning of our house hunting process. Hello and welcome to a very exciting vlog. As you can tell by the title, we are house hunting.
So excited. Can't wait. I've already seen a few, but I think today is going to be the day.
We actually, I feel like we've seen about like 10 houses by now, and I haven't vlogged any of them. But I've decided, now that we're getting a little bit closer to actually, you know, finally deciding.
We know what we want now, too.
Yeah. After seeing all the houses that we have, we already know what we want and what we're looking for. So I'm going to bring you guys along with us and give you basically glimpses of the ones that we're looking into. All right, so starting with one of the first houses we toured in a dream town of ours in New York, not too far from White Plains. I fell in love with the overall structure and look of the house. It just felt very charming to me. We got to tour this house the first day that it hit the market, and it actually sold literally 2 days later. And although it was really well priced for the space, the rooms, and the location, the taxes were insanely high and just not within our budget. But this was the master bedroom. Pretty spacious. I love the windows. The bathroom was in decent shape, but it definitely needed some renovations, and 2 walk-in closets, which was a huge bonus for us. Then walking into the dining room, which I loved. However, you get to notice how low the ceilings actually were just because of the structure of the home, or I guess like the shape of the house. Love the moody vibe of this living room and the wood everywhere. It just felt very cozy to me. Then walking down to the basement, which was a finished basement. I loved the stone detail, and it also had a walkout to the backyard. Now going upstairs, this is where it truly was downhill from here because the ceilings were way too low for Eric to even walk around, and these were the other 2 rooms. So this was a 4-bedroom house. The rooms were pretty small on this side, and as you can see, it had like a walkout attic. in one of the bedrooms. Overall, a beautiful home, just not for us. Next was one of my top favorite houses at the beginning of the house hunting series. I just fell in love again with the overall structure, the colonial look of it. The entryway was chef's kiss. I just loved it. The windows, the arches, the detail, I found it to be so beautiful. The kitchen was in great shape. Wasn't too crazy about the floors, I have to admit. And then it had this bathroom, the powder room, I guess. This one had a bonus room back here, which I guess could be a family room or playroom with a gym and office. And then back to the front of the house for the dining room. And then the entryway, again, it was just my favorite part. I love a statement and a beautiful stairs, and this was very much a statement for me. The master bedroom was huge. I love the windows and just how bright and airy it felt overall throughout the house. The bathroom, also big. Shower, tub, double sink, a separate toilet, and a walk-in closet. This was truly the room that kept on giving. And then Eric's closet right over here. Back to the hallway, it had a linen closet, and then the other two rooms. This one was only 3 bedrooms upstairs, and then 2 bonus rooms without closets downstairs. And then this is the shared guest bathroom and the other bedroom. Another appreciation moment to these stairs, and then down to the basement, which was a fully finished basement. It had a washer and dryer. This is like an in-law suite with its own kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, and then the backyard. So this was actually 4 acres of land, I forgot to mention. It had this beautiful fountain, play area, an above ground pool, a garden, and just lots and lots of land. However, it just wasn't for us. It was very expensive. The taxes were super high and not in a neighborhood that we loved. And then we also toured houses like these that weren't worth filming. This one was like in the main road. It didn't have an attached garage and just not worth even viewing. And then also houses like these that had super low ceiling for us, especially for Eric. Now, this was a house that was a top runner for us. It was located in Connecticut. Great taxes, great price. It was a little too far in Connecticut and the house was kind of falling apart, even though you can't really tell. But this one was a 4-bedroom house. It was very spacious, and although it had a lot of potential, it just wasn't the right house for us. The master bedroom was a little bit small. The bathroom was also weirdly designed. The guest bathroom was nice, and then the other 2 bedrooms. We were originally looking for a 3 to 4 bedroom house, so this was right up our alley. It just felt very old. It was tile and carpet everywhere, no hardwood floors. This is a quick little glimpse of the dining room. Love the window. This is the kitchen, very outdated. It was in decent shape, but very outdated. We would have to fix that. Now down to the basement. This was an unfinished basement, but it had a lot of potential. It was huge. It had a walkout, and it also had another bonus room. Now this is the living room, which was the only updated room in the house. Quickly on the backyard, huge backyard. The deck would need to be redone. The pool was an in-ground pool, which was a bonus. This fireplace was my favorite part of the house. Again, the windows, very nice. The mudroom, and a 3-car garage. Overall, beautiful home, just not for us. Moving on to this next house, it was an automatic no, but I'll still share it. It was technically a turnkey home in Connecticut. It was very expensive for what it was, to be honest. It was giving an updated shed. The kitchen was beautiful, newly renovated, obviously. The living room was pretty small, beautiful windows. There was no central AC. It was a 3-bedroom home. To get to the bedrooms, you would just have to go up these 5 steps, which meant it was a 1-level home, which it wasn't what we wanted. We wanted a 2-level home. The master bedroom was a decent size. It had a walk-in closet, and then the only downfall, it was a shared bathroom with the bedroom across. Now going downstairs, again, just 5 flights down, you go to the laundry room, another entrance, which was like a family room, another bathroom, and the 3rd bedroom. Just overall, not for us. On to the next. All right, now this was a house that I was completely in love with. It was also located in Connecticut. It was just so charming to me. It felt like it was straight out of a fairy tale. However, as you can see, to get down to the house, it was like a downhill, and you couldn't see the house from the road, which was like a downside for me. This was a pretty spacious home. It felt like it was so loved and lived on, which I loved that about it. It had this little office, this family room, just like look at the decor. Everything was wood. This was the dining room. The kitchen was pretty tight and small and outdated. That was a living room that I didn't film, but this is the laundry room, a powder room, the mud room, and then we go outside to the deck. This was also a downhill of a yard. It was apparently on acre of land, but it felt very small because the backyard was a downhill. Now, the bedrooms were pretty small, but look at this crib. I just loved touring houses, I have to say. I don't know if you guys are bored by now, but I love touring houses. This was the bathroom. It was quaint and cute. This was actually the master bedroom, which was pretty small. Oh, no central AC. I don't know what it is about Connecticut houses and no central AC. Then this is the bathroom for the master. Look at that book collection. Just give it a second. Look at that. Like, are you kidding? I'm obsessed. And then they also had this Shakespeare collection in miniature, like by the entrance. I couldn't take it. It also had an in-ground pool, which, fun fact, we were not looking for a house with a pool, and for some reason, every house that we toured had a pool. On to the next house. Now, this one I didn't film the outside. However, this was the exact quote-unquote style home that Eric and I were looking for. We wanted windows, we wanted high ceilings, and we quickly realized that these style homes are very modern and just not our style from the outside, just because we were looking more for like a traditional home. Now, this is the kitchen. By the way, everything was in one floor for this one, even though it had a second floor, but this is the living room. Beautiful fireplace that I didn't film. I loved these stairs. The bedrooms were all downstairs, and that was like a major downfall for us. And they were also very outdated. Like, this part of the house was outdated, but the living room, kitchen, and like family room were newly renovated. It was very dark. I don't know if it was because of the windows and curtains, but it felt dark in here. This one was a 4-bedroom home. So downstairs there were 3 bedrooms, and then upstairs was the 4th bedroom, which was pretty spacious, and it could be a master because it had like its own walk-in closet and bathroom. However, this one felt very low because of the ceiling and the way that it was like shaped. But we love this house. The other con was that to get to the house, you would have to go to an unfinished basement or like a bunch of flight of stairs. So it just wasn't practical. This was another house that we saw, another like updated shed. And again, the style of home that Eric and I wanted in terms of lighting and windows and like floor to ceiling windows. But from the outside, it's just not our style. So we had to scratch this one, but I still wanted to share it. All right, so this was the first house that we put an offer on, and oh my God, I was obsessed with this house. It was located in Connecticut, great taxes, really well priced, and 2 acres of land. So in terms of land, it was big, but the actual house was small for us. Like, it felt tight. You guys already know I love an entrance, and this was giving that for me. That's the dining room. The kitchen was newly renovated. It was very much like farmhouse style, and I know that I can change that, but just a con for me. Now, the living room was the size of our current living room, and that was a major con because we wanted something bigger than this. They also had a laundry room and a 2-car garage, which was pretty spacious and a bonus. Now, back to the front, we have a powder room and then the entrance again. I feel like because of the way that I was filming it, you can't really feel it. But here you get to see like the farmhouse style. Now, this was the biggest, I think, master bedroom we've seen so far. It had its own little small office. I guess it was split into this walk-in closet, and then it had a master bathroom, which was nice, newly renovated, just not per se my style, but that can be changed. And this was a 3-bedroom house. I don't know if I already mentioned this. So this is 1, 2, and the guest bathroom. Another moment for this entryway, which I was obsessed with, and then heading to the basement, which was a fully finished basement with lots of potential, and a quick glimpse of the back of the house. All right, so we ended up putting an offer, our first offer in this house, and we were so in love. We already were seeing our lives there. It's so funny because you walk into these houses and sometimes you feel it and sometimes you don't. And with that one, we truly felt like, ooh, this is the one. At the beginning, we were a little bit concerned because we weren't getting that feeling with any of these houses that we were seeing. But at the same time, it was a sign. So we walked in this house. We loved it. It was very renovated, as you can see. However, because there was already so much done to the house, it felt like it was hard for us to basically use it as a blank canvas and remake it our own, if that makes sense. The main reason we chose this house was, number one, the neighborhood, the location of the house, the acres of land, and just the overall look of the house was very beautiful and quaint in my opinion. We loved that although it wasn't a cul-de-sac, it still felt very secluded and out of the way, which is what we want at the end of the day. Like, we don't want to be super close to people, honestly. We wanted acres and land, that's it. Oh, and it was only 3 bedrooms and obviously a finished basement, but it still felt very small. Even though this first house will not be our forever home, we still want it to be a house that we love and feel like we're going to be staying there for a little while, you know, not like a short-term house. And this one felt very much like a 5-year home for us, which we took into consideration. So even though it had its cons, we still put an offer on it because we truly love the house. Like, it was absolutely perfect for us and what we were looking for also at the time.
Hey guys.
Hey.
So I just got an email and they apparently went with another offer that had stronger terms and waived inspection.
And unfortunately, but fortunately, we got our first rejection, which kind of stinged a little bit because it just, you know, like, you don't want to be rejected, obviously, and it kind of makes you feel like, ooh, this is going to be a long process. So it also brings doubts to the home buying process. And with the market being so competitive right now and our day getting closer and closer to our lease ending, things started getting really stressful real quick. So we didn't get the house, but at the end of the day, it was all for a reason. And I genuinely kept saying that to myself. I kept telling Eric, and I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. So although we were a little bit bummed out, I still knew that God had a better house out there for us. And he sure did. By the way, the reason why we didn't get it was because we didn't waive the inspection, because we did go over asking and they still chose the people that waived the inspection. We knew that we didn't want to waive the inspection because at the end of the day, this is our first home and we don't know what the house is gonna come with, even though it was still freshly renovated. All right, let's move on to the second batch of house hunting. After our heart being broken, we kept house hunting. So we stumbled upon this one, which was also in Connecticut, just not in a town that we loved. And I, again, was obsessed with this entryway. You just wait. Yeah, exactly. See the stairs? See the chandelier moment? Obsessed. We have this, I guess, dining room, you could say. And then you walk straight into the open layout of a family room with the kitchen. Now, oh, and this deck, beautiful. The backyard was like on an uphill kind of situation. The kitchen was in great shape. I love the appliances and there was so much storage everywhere. This is a 3-car garage. Not that we need a 3-car garage, but a bonus. I love the hardwood. Some rooms did have, this is a different wood now that I notice, but some rooms did have carpet. So this is a 4-bedroom house, huge home. However, this is a foreclosure home, and right when we stepped in, our realtor disclosed to us that someone did indeed pass away in this house. So that kind of changed my perspective. One of the bedrooms had its own walk-in closet as well as bathroom, which I thought was a bonus. And then we also had the laundry upstairs, which I didn't really think to add to my list, but I think it's better to have your laundry upstairs. This is the master bedroom, one of the biggest that we've seen. And as you can tell, there is water damage on the walls and the floors were really squeaky. But this was one of the biggest master bedrooms we've seen. It had 2 walk-in closets, this huge bathroom, and at the end, another walk-in closet. Now, heading down to the basement, this was an unfinished basement, but huge. So much room for potential here. It was also a walkout to the outside and backyard, but I just didn't feel like this was the house for us. And it was also really far, deep in Connecticut. Next was a house that was completely out of our budget, but we still decided to see it because we loved the photos and just how it looked. And oh my God, we regretted seeing this house in person because we wanted to put an offer so badly, but it was just out of our budget for what we were looking for. However, I just loved the way that this house was like decorated. It felt very vintage and it kind of felt like a museum, like you were walking into a museum. We loved the windows and just how it felt like you were in the middle of the woods. Now, even though the house was very charming and we loved it, it definitely needed a lot of renovations and updating, and that would have just added to the cost. This home was also on a 5-acre land and it had its own horse stable where you can keep 6 horses. Like, are you kidding me? This was a 4-bedroom home. As you can see, some ceilings were a little bit low for Eric, but we overall loved it and I just wanted to share with you guys, even though obviously we didn't consider it. And it also had its own separate guest house. Like, are you kidding me? I hope whoever buys this house loves it as much as we did. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this was the style home that Eric and I genuinely thought we were going to go for just because we love the high ceilings and the floor to ceiling windows. However, the more we toured these homes, it just felt very cold and uninviting and just not our style. This is a contemporary / modern style, and for us, we were looking more for a traditional home, even though we obviously loved the windows and the bright and airy feel to it. The layout and design of this home in particular, which is pretty odd in my opinion. There was wood everywhere, carpet. It was just, I don't know, it was just not our style to say the least, but it was a 4-bedroom home. Let me just show you the master bedroom though. Look at this bathroom. I mean, it's nice for whoever likes it and lives in the 70s, but just not our style, so moving on to the next. All right, second to last home that we toured, we were actually torn between this one and the house that we actually ended up going for. First and foremost, love an entryway. You guys already know this. Love the stairs. The layout and overall flow of the house was really nice. This would be, I guess, the dining room. Then this is the kitchen, which I loved. I feel like it was really nice, really renovated and updated in my opinion. It also had a powder room. This would be, I guess, an office or bonus room. It also had a laundry room and a massive 3-car garage, which we didn't need, but nice to have. The kitchen had an open layout with this living room. As you can see, that was the deck. That was the only flaw about this house. It didn't really have a backyard. It had a nice front yard and lots of trees and privacy, but no backyard. And then going up the stairs, we can see all 4 bedrooms, which were all very spacious. As you can see, I loved the windows in this house. They were so beautiful. They also had this weird random room back here, which we didn't really know what we would do with it. It would either be a movie room or a massive office for me for Not the Label. This house actually had 2 guest bathrooms, which was insane, but it was just way too big for us. I actually didn't even film the basement for you guys. This is the master bedroom with the walk-in closet and the bathroom. We overall loved this house. It was just way too big for us. Right, we are at the end of the race here. As you can see, we saw a bunch of houses that we truly loved. And then we stumble upon our home. And it truly, from the second we walked in, it just felt right. Like, it felt like it was ours. We loved the location. We loved the neighborhood. We loved the structure of the home. We loved the fact that it had the rooms that we wanted, and just everything overall felt right. It's also the perfect mix of a house ready to be lived on and a fixer-upper, which is genuinely what we wanted. We wanted a house that we could make our own and add all of the finishing touches to make it our dream home. Good morning!
So the agent called me early, and he was like, listen, you know, I'm gonna accept the offer. Yeah, I didn't expect to get it as soon as we did, but we got it.
I know. I'm sorry to leave you with a cliffhanger and not fully show you the house, but the next one is going to be the empty home tour with all of our renovation plans and everything we want to do to the house. I seriously cannot wait to bring you guys along our home renovation series, which is going to be so much fun and stressful, but fun. All right, so fast forward to now, we are officially closed. It took us about a month to close. There were some hiccups, there were some ups and downs as per usual with any home that you're closing on, to be honest. That's my only tip, is just be ready for things to go wrong, for things not to specifically go in your dream timeline, but everything happens at the right time and for a reason. Some of the things that delayed it were the things that they were supposed to do before closing, which were cleaning the septic, finishing the basement. That they fixed right away. They finished the basement. They also fixed a leak that was in the house. And again, the septic and the AC, they were supposed to fix or replace. And throughout the entire process, they kept like playing games. They kept being wishy-washy about it and kind of wanting it to just give us a credit for us to fix the AC, but we were not budging. That's another thing that I would say, truly be stern about your decisions. And if you want something done, keep asking for it, because at the end of the day, they want to close, you want to close, but both parties need to be happy and satisfied. And we knew that an AC would have been 8 to 10 grand. So we wanted that to be fixed by them, and they ended up replacing the AC. Thankfully, after weeks of back and forth, they were able to fully replace it, which is amazing. And we now have a 10-year warranty, I think, on it. Overall, be patient, because this process is a stressful one. The only con has to be that we ended up having to clean the septic ourselves. And if you don't know what that is, I grew up in an apartment. I had to Google it. Just imagine. I know. Not pleasant at all, but it was done, and at least they replaced the AC, which is a win. Yeah, I'm going to insert some clips of our closing day.
Give me your strength and show me your weakness. We're in this together now. We're in this together now. Give me your love.
It's closing day!
We did it!
All right, tell me your thoughts.
I'm excited. I can't believe we're finally here. I know it was such a process, and we saw a lot of homes. It was stressful. It's a lot of money, but it's just like the wedding. It's all worth it.
Yeah. How houses did we see?
Like 25.
No, I think like 30.
We saw a
like
lot.
close to 30.
But honestly, I would suggest that you do that because it's a big investment and you're stuck there for a while. So it's worth finding the right home.
We got to
and
see different
finding
styles.
the right real estate agent that's going to go to 30 houses with you. So
Absolutely.
that's a big one. We just have to sign our life away and we're good to go.
We just came for our last walkthrough before signing.
So excited. Can't believe it's really here.
I know.
It's been a long process.
I can't believe it. It's been a long process, very stressful, very overwhelming.
Yeah.
So much money.
So much money.
But it's going to be
all worth it though.
Worth it. And it's the most beautiful fall day.
'Cause we're in this together now. Yeah, we're in this together now.
We're homeowners.
We did it.
That was truly the most stressful
It's a process.
day. I mean, it wasn't that stressful. It was just a stressful process.
I feel like we had all the built up stress from everything else kind of coming together.
I know. But yeah, I'm so freaking happy. I can't believe it now.
We're so excited. All of it's
We're
done.
going to be living in Home Depot.
Now we get to start the home improvement project. Actually kind of excited for that.
Yeah, me too.
Building stuff. And
I know.
Getting my power tools up and running. I got a bunch of power tools for my birthday.
It was Eric's birthday yesterday, so this is the best birthday gift ever.
Plus my tools. That was also a
Plus
great
his
gift.
tools.
Told her to go to Milwaukee. We got DeWalt. I'm not too thrilled about it.
Oh
but
god,
it is
I
what it
didn't
is.
know it was like a whole thing.
It's like a rivalry.
Alright, so that was pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I cannot wait to bring you guys along this journey. Thank you for being a part of my life and just so supportive. So I love you guys and see you next time. Bye.